All right. Hello. Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla, and welcome to my third live stream of Abzû, a game about exploring some kind of ruins underwater, finding out about all of the ancient Civ stuff that was here before us. We are joined today by my lovely cat, Freya. And feel free to say hello in the chat if you're with us. I am hoping that the audio is on key this time. It's been a little tough getting the balance right with each new game, but I think I figured this one out. Without further ado, let's get started. And there we are, our little character, with our little cat-eared helmet, and our one little drone friend with a surprisingly expressive set of characteristics. It's very cute. As you can see, we are joined by plenty of real-world fish, like these rays and these sunfish. And I will see if I can remember the controls. Ah yes, we are in this interesting place. Oh, where are we in this cave? What was in here? Are we following this chain? We're about at the edge of the map, it seems. There's a great door here. This might be where we came in. Ah yes, this is where we came in. So these great chains which appear to go through those columns there. We are finding bits of material culture here. These amphorae in a mostly very Greek style, but much more angular. With these black on red motifs of dolphins and kelp. These chains, which I really still don't quite understand what they're doing here. We did get one chain starting to pull, as I recall. Hello, turtle. Oh, I guess we needed to start that over again. So this chain is getting pulled into the gate, causes some of that unknown sort of heavy liquid to pour. Now, this does not actually appear to be a realistic length of chain, and also why would you want this elaborate of a mechanism to, I mean, presumably just knowing the gameplay, with so many things that could rust out or go wrong. Why would you want that to be the way that you open the door? If it's really that important, and it does appear to be. Oh, I don't remember noticing these obelisks before. Another strangely Egyptian feature. We have noticed a few very Egyptian things, right? These hieroglyphic-like marks, very underwater things, turtles and waves and fish. obelisks, a particularly Egyptian construct, with their sort of pyramidal tops and four long straight sides. They were adopted as symbols of prestige, and by adopted I mostly mean stolen, by various empires from Greece to Rome to the UK. So we do have dugongs, so not everything we did in this area last time has been reset. Let's see, have we done this one? Zebra sharks. So, what else have we got? So, we've got another chain heading into this tiled gateway. So, been talking about the sort of North African / Islamic tiles, the Islamic star shapes, the Egyptian hieroglyphs and pyramids and sphinges. These statues, though, don't seem particularly... I mean, aside from resembling the Sphinx with the shark head, these seem a bit more coherent, I guess? Like, the Sphinx shark head looks very tacked on. Like, the body is this angular construction. But then again, you can kind of see a possibility that the heads here also have been replaced. It looks almost like they're two separate pieces of stone, which is not an uncommon practice of just reusing statuary for whoever was in power this time. So, oh, I have two friends? I thought I only had the one. Okay. Sweet. We have these gorgeous walkways, which, again, I just keep wondering, like, if you're underwater, why do you need to walk? But if you're not underwater, why do you have this iconography? I really don't know what the deal is with these peoples. This does go a long way down, and it appears that there are more than two chains, but I don't know why, since the others don't appear to go to anything in particular. Still, it seems clear that we are being directed towards this coral-blocked opening, and we do have our two little bot friends who can help us with that. Beautiful anemones. Ooh, what's this? Ah, it's the other chain, I suppose. Kicking our feet as we exert effort. The doorway opens. I wonder if there is anything else in this little chamber. It seems like a good place to hide something. Don't ask me how the physics of this work. I don't think they do. Well, maybe they didn't hide anything in here. I do like the phosphorescence, though. Well, shall we go see what's beyond the doorway? This cairn is actually kind of interesting to me. I mean, it's clearly deliberate. It's on both sides of this cave. But why? It doesn't resemble any of these, like, masterfully crafted metal and stoneworks everywhere else. They're just rock piles. And yet they're obviously deliberate. Could it be that we're looking at multiple iterations here? The civilization and then divers trying to mark a place they couldn't get through? Perhaps I'm not the first one of my civilization here? More cairns up here, which I didn't even think to mention. So, let's see. What have we got? Nice red kelp. Some more eel-headed statues. Ooh! Another of these magic pools. Lionfish! Oh, I love lionfish. They're so beautiful. So deadly. I actually have a realistic-looking plush lionfish because I love them so much. Oh, come on. Don't touch the lionfish. It's not good for you. I just want to get to the surface. Because I think it's interesting. Look at this. Like, there's land. But I'm not allowed to get up on the land. So, anything interesting that we can see from up here? I'm gonna go back at a lower elevation. I want to see what's up here. So again, this feels like a good place, game design-wise, to hide something. But it doesn't look like they did. So let's see. Anything down here? Nope. Straight on to this area is a nice cool green space. Oh, moon jellies. Beautiful. I love moon jellies. Uh-oh. So our great white shark not friend. This looks a little bit constructed. You see the triad shape of these pillars, even though they're clearly worn down and not like carved, but you can also see supports across the top here. Somebody carved into this island. Oh. Don't notice me. Don't eat my bots. Unless I can ride on you, and then maybe. More amphorae. Shark friend is not here right now, so let's sneak away. Is there anything here? Lots of empty space in this civilization's area. I wonder why. Like, has it already been excavated, or... did they deliberately leave a whole bunch of space? These amphorae designs look familiar. I mean, it is gorgeous, no doubt about that. But it's kind of hard to imagine actually utilizing these ruins. Ooh. Okay, we've entered another of these dead spaces. Must be nearing the end of the area then. Here we have some nicely carved archways, like a full walkway here. Look, this wall is fully tiled, and the ceilings too. So we have some kind of almost palatial structure here. Look at these screens. Are they carved rock? Are they rock or wood or... I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to see better in a minute. It's hard to tell, but clearly those are blocked and these are not. It feels like an indoor versus outdoor space in a place that has very little sort of barrier. Oops. Hey, a nautilus. Ah, and here we have some flooring. Some of those six-sided star tiles. Alright. So, some very large building here. This space is clearly deliberate, but what for? Some places it's more damage than others, for sure. Impossible to say how much of this is rubble and ruin versus never completed because of the way that the water smooths everything, and also the lack of detail. Probably easier to say if we had some proper tools. So I guess that's about a full circuit. Here are phosphorescent friends. So this is where we came in, yes? Yes. Oops. Alright. What lower structures have we got here? Why is the water so cloudy? Oh, we have a very large shark construct. These pillar statues. And these all appear to be hammerheads of some kind. They built down. We have our typical, for this game, pagoda with the carved roofs and blue tiling. Presumably we will go into that to renew the space via our virtual reality projection. I do like that you can see through these doors. Another very deliberate interior. This one looking even more filled out than the last. I wonder how much information we will get out of it. So, can we go further down? Can we go into the cloudy area? That's interesting. Some of that red moss, lichen, whatever it is, it's clearly turned white. Well, we've found the bottom. It doesn't seem like it's sand. It seems like this whole thing is floating, which is unsettling, to say the least. That's not how physics. Okay, let's go and enter the simulation, shall we? Maybe it's just that we weren't quite far enough down for sand. I'll just hope that's what it is, that there's some weird perspective thing. Here we go. We have entered the Upside Down. Where our blue floating structures have been entered by Nautilus. And before us is the new path that will bring this strange life water and presumably some sort of critter to the ocean. Let's go find out what. Give it a piece of heart, and... Ooh, are those whale sharks? Alright, the blue glowy water, or whatever it is, refills the reservoir. The kelp returns to life, and friendly whale sharks and other fish. As the pagoda spreads coral to the heavens. Magic. Hello, whale shark. Can I ride on you? You're very big. I would like to ride you. Are we friends? Not right now. Okay. Alright, so let's enter this building. Ooh. It has a new floor pattern. I don't think we've seen these sort of flower-looking patterns. We once again have these yellow-painted kelp. Oh! Some yellow nautilus shapes up there. Again, with the paint that is over the tiles, which is a strange medium for paint, since it often is glazed and doesn't take it well. And then these... Well, I guess these are just a compilation of many pointed stars that in the negative space look like flowers. But we have our exciting not water here in small, well, relatively small quantity. I'm trying to see if I can touch it. No, of course I can't. Oh, we have some more humanoid figures here. So that same blank masked face with just the eyes and the yellow sort of tunics holding kelp wands. We've determined that those are kelp shapes, if different than the longer seaweed. And this does appear to be a... oh, our ceilings are arched but smooth. This is in contrast to those pagodas where we had that very carved look, even though the outsides are tiled. So this building seems to be built to display the water, or to channel the water. I'm calling it water, I have no idea what it's actually. The life liquid. Ah, and here we have our stacked representation of the areas with our collection of which nautilus shells we have found. So we did miss one in this last area, and I think we're about to go get to meet a blue whale from the looks of this. This is going to be very exciting. Looks like we have more of these pottery shapes. Nothing particularly new. We have our blue band with white stars, which is not very like Mediterranean pottery, but are black on red dolphins and kelp. Dolphins and kelp. This looks new. I don't think we've seen many steps, and why would we, really? The golden triangle pattern is interesting. This structure is fascinating. This looks like nothing so much as a fountain. It is a fountain. It's a fountain of the life water, and it's illuminated. These mosaics. Or, not mosaics. Fresco is what I meant, but it was also not right, because these aren't painted on plaster. These are painted on tile, and goodness knows how that works. Once again, we have the starred archway and the door opening to what looks like another fountain beyond. But for now, let's check out these murals. We'll call them murals. So that looks like one of our pools that starts to glow when we get a new creature. Or maybe a pagoda from the top. And it's surrounded by stars. And it is sending water to where the people are. The people are gathering it in specially marked star jugs, star amphorae. And when they put it upright, it has this glowy symbol. And so they walk away with jars full of this special water. Oh. Oh, hey, these are like regular nautiluses instead of my weird nautilus shells. But then they pour it beneath their structures. We've seen these pathways before. And these are the ones that lead to pagodas most often. Oh, and there's a pagoda shooting up coral, right? So this is basically telling us, sort of. Oh, I don't know what those fish are. The process here. They took life water from the springs and they poured it around their own structures to bring the pagodas to life. And I don't know why. I don't know what makes this different. Maybe this is, in a way, what we're doing. Oh, and you can see life shooting out of the water when it's poured. That's kind of fascinating. I did want to talk a moment about these breakages. And you can see the places here where the paint's worn off, and the tiles are glazed blue. So what kind of paint is this anyway? This damage is very weird as well, because normally if you break a tile, you don't then see, you know, the tile is just sheared. You'd have to use a power tool to get that kind of sharp edge on a broken tile. You'd normally see, you know, jagged, splintering, bits of tile crumbled on the floor, bits of tile crumbled in the cracks. Nothing like that. There's almost nothing here to indicate that the tiles aren't just part of the blue stone of the pillar, which maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they're just carved into the pillar and then polished. Though even then, I would expect more breakage. But who knows what this stone is? Who knows what their tech is? Maybe I'm wrong. Onward. Ooh, what's that? Oh no, that's just the door. Never mind, that's fine. Another... Oh, and we can see those window carvings from the, window carving from what appears to be the inside. The other ones appeared to lead to stone. We can't really see out it. Guess it goes into the life water for some reason. I guess we can see out it. We can just see light. It's too bright to see. It's trying to kind of figure out if this carving is anything in particular, but I'm not sure that it is. Well, I should probably just turn on the fountain light, and then we'll find out. Oops, too far. Oh, hello. That is more specifically us, isn't it? It's not got the, you know, sort of Egyptian-looking garb of the others, this figure. It has what appears to be our wetsuit, with the triangle and the knee pads and such. Although I can't see if the feet are flippered. Maybe if I go closer. No, the feet aren't flippered. Maybe it's us before we put our flippers on. But still, this is very clearly somebody dressed very similarly to us, with the life orb without having to have the life water. And maybe that's the sort of thing that we bring out of our heart when we go to the pagodas. Now this big technological triangle, very clearly those section doors that we get sucked through. What are these other figures doing? Now the easy answer of what are those other figures doing is praying. Like, this gesture seems one of beseeching or praising, but why? It's just another person, right? It's very hard to say without knowing more about the culture. So, don't know which order these go in. So the person wearing a wetsuit with the magic orb, and the fish standing atop those doorways, which really look very sinister. Like, you don't see these colors, these oranges and reds, you don't see them anywhere else in the architecture, anywhere else in the paintings. It's all blues and yellows and whites. But I wonder if somehow the gates are hostile. But then what is the figure dressed like us doing, standing atop them? Why are they so trivial, I guess? Why do they help us get around? And is this pagoda... is the coral shattered? Or is the paint just worn? It's certainly white instead of pink like it was in the other room, but it's hard to say. I guess that's the only place we really see that pink color. And then up here, the walls are covered in these hieroglyphics. Just absolutely covered. That, of course, we cannot read. And who knows, maybe if we were to take a closer look, we could find a cipher in them. But realistically speaking, without knowing the language that this ancient culture spoke, it would be nearly impossible to crack. You can do a lot of things with cryptology and cryptography, but the biggest problem, the problem we faced with Linear B, the problem we still face with Linear A, is not knowing what language the symbols are supposed to represent. Because when it could be anything, well, it could be anything. The way that Linear B was finally deciphered was when somebody figured out that it was a version of Greek, of Mycenaean Greek, by recognizing a couple of words. And so they were able to decipher it that way, and that's why Linear A has never been deciphered, because we have no idea what language it is. We just don't have enough samples to figure it out. Maybe somebody will find more one day. It's hard to say. This window carving, this kind of window covering, again, like the carved roofs, like the star shapes, very Islamic style, usually made of dark wood, and, you know, they might contain star shapes, they might contain carved letters. This appears to mostly be just lines and squares, but it's not as regular as I expected. Alright, well, let's see what the next chamber brings us. What is this rubble from? Oh, the ceiling's caved in. Is there anything up here? Oh. There used to be a second floor. At least of this part. Huh. It's one of those smaller dead triangles, and it was clearly brought here, right? Because it couldn't have fallen in. There's no damage above us here. So why? Why does it look so different than everything else? Why has it lost its color and function? Why does it seem so sinister? And why would you bring it here? Although, it may not have seemed sinister to them. Such things are largely cultural. no matter what you say, I will not agree with Chomsky about what we find sinister and scary being encoded into our brains as it can vary so widely between cultures and even between people. Lots more of these hieroglyphs. Interesting that the second floor did not extend all the way out here. Those big plain columns. We have another fountain. Let's see what it brings us. Another room filled with frescoes. Oh, and a sphinx. So interesting. To either side, we have people, normal, but everyday people for what we've been seeing. So these people with either full tunics or headdresses and wraps. Some of them bearing the seaweed rods, some of them bearing some kind of jugs, it looks like, but not ones with the magic water, because we don't have that magic water symbol here. Others bearing this tray, it looks like. It almost looks like a tribute. It's a big leap to come to, but it'll do for a start. It has 2 amphorae, a big piece of living coral, some, maybe those are starfish, some nautiluses, and honestly, those look like trilobites to me. And this procession is under a great white shark, which appears to be at the surface, given where these waves are at the sides. And it looks like both sides are the same, leading to this, leading to the bright blue world, the hologram, the VR that seems to only appear to us when we go through the pagoda wormholes. And it shows the 4 centers with their corals in bloom. The manta rays, the orcas, the whale sharks, and it looks like the next one we're gonna get is giant squid. Sweet. I mean, it's as big as a whale shark. Maybe it's a colossal squid. I don't really know. All of it topped by the shining nautilus shell. And in the center, the great white shark. I wonder if that's what we'll see after we have all 4 pagodas lit. Oh. And we have the well symbol in the floor. I wonder... I think this growth of kelp seems, the low seaweed seems almost deliberate here. It's hard to say because, of course, it's all filled in. Can't get under it. But certainly was demarcated, that area. Press X to meditate. Let's see what we've got. Our friend the Nautilus. The green moray eel, very bright in this environment. Bonnethead sharks. Those are little hammerheads. Oh, there are clownfish in here. I hadn't noticed them. Juvenile emperor angelfish. Fascinating. Remora. Or remora. Bannerfish. It is a coelacanth. I thought so. What, are you tired of fish, kitty? I think she might be tired of fish. Okay, okay. Let's move on with our lives, shall we? And so in this place, on this plinth, the symbol for life. More evidence of damage. Some kind of cave-in, maybe? Ah, and another broken triangle. This one appears to have smashed through the wall. But how? So we leave the path constructed by our forebears, perhaps. We can see the proper gate in this forest of stars. I love these little phosphorescents. Doesn't look like there is anything else here for us but this gate. It does look so sinister to me. But then, why would it recognize us? It's so much more metallic and mechanical than the rest. Taking a bit to load this side. Well, here we are in a brand new area, and it is just before 4, so I think that is our cue. I am going to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. Please join us this time next week for another episode of Exploration of Abzû, where we talk about who the heck built these ancient ruins. That's what I say anyway. Alright, bye folks. Keep learning.